With the absurd amount of content flooding our multiplex screens every year, it stands to reason that more than a few films will fail to score with the public. As different as they may be, these movies all suffered the same unfortunate fate. Some were unnecessary, some struggled to market themselves, and some simply failed to deliver. But every last one of them tanked at the box office. Here's why. Solo: A Star Wars Story. It seems preposterous to even entertain the notion that a Star Wars movie could be anything but a smash hit, but here we are. Solo: A Star Wars Story opened in May to something of a shrug from audiences. It's not even that the movie was particularly bad, it's just that Solo never seemed to be a movie that Star Wars fans ever wanted. Many fans felt that fleshing out the backstory of one of the franchise's most beloved characters was completely unnecessary. And while Donald Glover shone as a young Lando Calrissian and Alden Ehrenreich turned in an admirable performance as Solo himself, these characters were afflicted by a thin story which added little to the saga as a whole. Releasing Solo 5 months after The Last Jedi and only a month after Avengers: Infinity War can't have helped things either. Skyscraper. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's latest summer blockbuster seemed almost genetically engineered for success. It was a fresh IP hyped as this generation's Die Hard and starred one of the most bankable stars working in Hollywood today. But while critics were split down the middle when Skyscraper hit theaters, audiences found themselves supremely uninterested by the movie's release. With a $125 million budget and a gargantuan advertising campaign to match, Skyscraper would have had to do absolute gangbusters at the box office to avoid losing money. Despite a decent overseas reception, thanks largely to the movie's Hong Kong setting and diverse cast, success just never materialized. The movie's derivative plot probably frustrated audiences as much as it did critics, and with Skyscraper coming so soon after the release of Jumanji and Rampage, you can't discount rock fatigue as a factor in the movie's unfortunate demise. A Wrinkle in Time. Disney's adaptation of the beloved novel by Madeleine L'Engle encouraged high expectations. It had a stellar cast and an admirable commitment to diversity, being the first big-budget tentpole movie to be directed by a black woman, the exceedingly talented Ava DuVernay. With young adult franchises like Harry Potter and The Hunger Games dominating the box office in recent years, A Wrinkle in Time could reasonably have been expected to be a smash hit. Sadly, this never happened. The movie failed to encourage the kind of diverse audiences Black Panther had gathered a few weeks earlier, and perhaps due to its lukewarm critical response, none of the usual young adult movie crowds showed up either. The film's convoluted marketing campaign didn't help, and Wrinkle ended up scraping together just over $100 million in the United States.
To you, I give the gift of your faults. You're welcome.
The Hurricane Heist. The involvement of Rob Cohen, best known for directing the original Fast and the Furious and XXX, lent a degree of anticipation to the Hurricane Heist's box office chances, and the more optimistic dared to hope the movie might have been one of those high-octane, stunt-heavy action flicks which inevitably bloom into profitable franchises. Unfortunately, critics skewered the movie at release for its rip-off narrative, plot holes, and poor editing. Audiences took note. In the end, the Hurricane Heist failed to break $1 million on its first day and grossed just over $6 million at the end of its theatrical run, just 1/6 of its production budget. Annihilation. Based on the critically acclaimed Jeff Vandermeer novel of the same name, Annihilation is the story of a team of scientists who venture into the Shimmer, a place unconfined by the laws of reality. It's also a very good movie. Critics were quick to sing its praises. Despite this, however, audiences responded to its release with near total indifference.
How is that possible? You must be able to tell me something.
Paramount may have shot down Annihilation's box office chances by striking a deal for the movie's international streaming rights prior to release. It dropped on Netflix around the time of its theatrical release in virtually every market except North America and China, severely cutting into its overseas profits. In the States, it went up against Black Panther. Unsurprisingly, Annihilation failed to break even on its $40 million budget.